Hey, gorgeous souls. If these betrayal stories are ripping your heart out in the best way, do me a solid smash subscribe and turn on notifications, because this one hurts so good. Let's dive in. Everyone in Split warned me about mixing friendship with money, but I never listened. Not when the Adriatic was glittering like crushed sapphires, and the cicadas screamed all night in the pine trees above the city. Not when Mateo Vukovic and I were 19, drunk on rakia and dreams, promising each other the world from the roof of Diocletian's palace while the summer fireworks exploded over the Riva. Mateo was the brother I chose. Same orphanage in Sinj, same beatings from the same nuns, same hunger that taught us how to smile while stealing bread. When my baba died and left me the tiny stone house in Varosh and a half-hectare of ancient olives on the slopes of Marjan, Mateo was the one who helped me fix the roof. When his mother overdosed, I was the one who held him while he cried into my neck, salt water mixing with seawater. We built a boat charter business together. 2 old wooden boats, a beaten-up van, and a name we painted ourselves. Morai Priyatelji, Sea and Friends. By 2024, we had 6 boats, a little office on the waterfront, and bookings from June to September that paid the bills for the whole year. Tourists loved us. Mateo with his film star cheekbones and easy laugh, me with my quiet jokes and perfect English. Locals loved us too. We hired their sons, paid fairly, never forgot Canoba debts. We were untouchable. Then came the pandemic winter of 2021. Empty marinas, canceled seasons, loans we couldn't repay. I sold my baba's gold bracelet to keep us afloat. Mateo said he was doing the same, selling family land in Imotsky, taking out private loans. I believed him because he cried in my kitchen, head in his hands, swearing he'd never let us lose everything we'd built. I signed whatever he put in front of me. Power of attorney, just in case, new company structure for tax reasons, bank guarantees, so the boats stay in our names. I was tired, grieving my baba, terrified of failing. He was the charming one. I trusted him to talk to bankers while I fixed engines and answered emails at 3 a.m. The betrayal was so slow, I almost missed it. First, the bookings started going to a new company. More Lux, same boats, same logo, just slightly different colors. Then clients asked why they were paying double. Then the bank froze our accounts because the loans had been transferred. And suddenly, the signature on the bottom wasn't mine. I confronted him in March, the off-season month when Split feels like a ghost town, and the Bora wind howls down the mountains like it wants to punish us all. He met me at our usual cafe on Matayushka Pier, wearing a new Canada Goose jacket I'd never seen. "It's business, Luca," he said, stirring his espresso without looking me straight in the eye. "You were drowning. I saved everything. The company is mine now, legally. You can stay on as skipper if you want. Salary, not partnership." I laughed, because I thought it was a sick joke. Then he slid the folder across the table. Every document I'd signed, every clause I'd skimmed, every lie wrapped in legalese. He'd registered the company in his sister's name, used my power of attorney to mortgage the boats, transferred the waterfront office lease to a shell company in Cyprus. Even my baba's house, the one place I swore I'd never lose, had a second mortgage I'd apparently co-signed while drunk. I went home and vomited into the sink that still had the crack we'd laughed about fixing one day. The next months were ash. I slept on a cousin's sofa in Solin. My name was Poison. No one would hire me because Mateo had spread stories. Drugs, stealing from clients, mental breakdown. He posted photos on Instagram, new girlfriend from Dubrovnik, new Rolex, new 12-meter yacht named More Lux Y. Caption: "From nothing to everything. Grateful." I watched it all from a burner account. The Bora rattling the windows. Rage so pure it tasted metallic. But islands have long memories, and Dalmatia runs on gossip and family. I started small. I went back to the orphanage in Sinj and asked the old nun, Sister Teresia, for Mateo's original file. She hesitated, then handed it over a yellowed envelope, "For your soul, not for hate." Inside, Mateo's real birth certificate, father, unknown, mother, listed as Vukovic Anna, but the margin note in faded ink read, "Alleged father, Drago Perkovic, married." Drago Perkovic, current deputy mayor of Split, famous for family values speeches at every election. Mateo had spent his life running from that shame. I understood then why he needed to own everything, why being seen as the poor orphan wasn't enough. He had to erase me to feel legitimate. I didn't rush. Revenge in Dalmatia is like making pica. Slow, under embers, time to the minute. Spring came, the smell of orange blossom and diesel. Tourists returned. I borrowed money from the only person who still believed in me, my ex-girlfriend Anna, now a lawyer in Zagreb. Quietly, we built the case. Forged signatures. He'd traced mine. Backdated contracts, tax fraud, money laundering through the Cyprus company. I found the skipper he'd fired for asking questions, the accountant terrified into silence, the girl from Dubrovnik who'd left when she realized the yacht wasn't really mine. The night before the storm broke, I invited him to the house, my Baba's house, the one he thought he owned. I cooked brudet the way we used to. Octopus, scorpion fish, too much black pepper. He arrived cocky, smelling of money, laughing that I was finally coming around. We ate on the terrace as the Sirocco wind started rising, warm and heavy, the sea below us turning black and restless. I poured us both a glass of poship from the last bottle we'd bought together years ago. "Remember when we had nothing?" I said. He smirked. "And now I have everything." I slid the envelope across the table. Inside, the birth certificate, bank records, witness statements, the front page of Slobodna Dalmatia already written and scheduled for morning. His tan faded to gray. "You can fight this in court for years and lose," I said quietly, "or you can sign everything back to me tonight. Boats, company, house. Walk away with the clothes on your back. I'll let the deputy mayor's story die." He stared at the sea, wind whipping his hair like it wanted to tear him apart. For 1 second I saw the boy from the orphanage, terrified someone would find out he was nothing. Then he signed. Hands shaking, ink smudging, every page. The next morning the Bora returned, fierce and cleansing. I stood on the Riva watching them tow more Lux Y away, seized for unpaid debts he could no longer hide. By evening the news broke. Deputy mayor resigns over private family matter. Luxury charter empire collapses amid fraud probe. Matteo left on the night catamaran to Ancona with 1 duffel bag. I didn't watch him go. Now it's July again. The boats are mine, repainted, flying the old name. I kept one thing of his, the Rolex. I wear it when I take guests out at sunset, when the sea turns the color of Rakija, and the islands float like dark dreams. People ask why I forgave the money but kept the watch. I just smile and say, so every time I check the time, I remember exactly how long it takes to lose everything you stole. And sometimes, when the wind dies and the water is glass, I still raise a silent glass to the boy who once stood on a palace roof with me and promised we'd never be hungry again. He broke that promise. I just made sure he finally felt what hunger really means.